Hi, Kim Daniela here, and today I'm going to talk about a pretty challenging topic, but one that affects us greatly because it's put the food supply into dangerous corporate hands. Genetic modification, chemical agriculture, and the world's largest producer of GMOs, Monsanto. Monsanto have gotten a lot of flack lately, and they've basically become known as the face of corporate evil. Today we're going to find out why that could be. So, who are Monsanto? Well, founded in 1901, Monsanto was one company that produced some kind of the most damaging toxins in US history. First was their cancer-linked aspartame sweetener, later Agent Orange, used in biological warfare during the Vietnam War, PCBs, and the controversial bovine growth hormone. In the 80s, however, they switched it up and started buying seed companies, investing in biogenetics research and becoming an agricultural company. Their first genetically modified product, Roundup Ready soybean, was approved by the USDA in 1994. Roundup, for those of you who don't know, is Monsanto's herbicide made with the active ingredient glyphosate. More on that later. Throughout their history, Monsanto have pretty much always played the bully. For example, the famous case of Canadian farmer Percy Schmeiser, who was sued by Monsanto in 1998 for growing Roundup Ready canola without paying the licensing fee. Even though the seeds had blown onto his farm by mistake, and he stated he had no intention of using Roundup on it. If you want to learn more about this crazy story, check out the documentary, David vs. Monsanto. Monsanto are notorious for squashing out their competitors. They use legal maneuvers that are ruthless and enforce their 674 patents. They now own a huge part of the world's seed supply, and they force farmers to sign contracts for the seed so that they cannot replant them. They spend millions lobbying the US government every year. Senators work with them to provide a Monsanto Protection Act, protecting them from federal courts. President Obama has been the most GMO-dedicated politician in America. During his presidency alone, the GMO crops that were introduced include alfalfa, sugar beets, BT soybean, corn for ethanol, cotton, BT cotton, and papaya. Wow. The question in all this is, could Monsanto, GMO seeds, and Roundup really be so bad? Well, come to find out when you do the research, yes. The American Academy of Environmental Medicine has warned that the public should avoid GM foods, stating there is more than a causal association between GM foods and adverse health effects, there is causation. A huge number of studies have implicated GM foods in causing such problems as accelerated aging, immune dysfunction, insulin disorders, organ damage, and reproductive disruption. Scary fact, considering 93% of corn in the US is genetically engineered and 94% of soybeans. Large amount of both crops go directly into animal feed, affecting not only the animals grazing on it, but we, the humans, who are consuming all their byproducts. And it's not just the US. Other top GM planting countries include Brazil, Argentina, India, and Canada. Then there's the Roundup product. Just recently, the World Health Organization announced that Monsanto's glyphosate was probably carcinogenic, which of course Monsanto strongly denied. In fact, there's actually evidence that now proves Monsanto has been fully aware of glyphosate having the potential to cause cancer since as early as 1981. To add fuel to the fire, Codex, who are the UN organization regulating all food, herbs, and minerals in the world, have stated that they don't believe GMOs are even food. As such, they can be used for various practices, including birth control and the control of fertility in a nation. I want to point out that while today's topic was focused on Monsanto, these days they're not the only ones involved in the realm of GMOs. Other companies to look out for include Dow, Evogene, Bayer, DuPont, and the Swiss company Syngenta. So I understand if all this seems a little too overwhelming to deal with, but the good news is next week I'm actually going to share some steps we can all take to be a part of the solution. Because the only way that they can keep control is if we sit back and allow it. So stay aware, stay tuned, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.